Hello everybody, thanks for watching. So we're going to go over our machine learning Lorentzian classification algorithm. We've developed this on top of what's out there and used many pre-existing papers to come up with this, but we're going to talk a little bit about Lorentzian classification, why we chose to build off of this, and basically there's core ML logic that talks about approximate nearest neighbors search with Lorentzian distance, a novel variation of nearest neighbors search algorithm that ensures a chronologically uniform distribution of neighbors. Now, jdehorty, the original developer of this, said that in a traditional KNN-based approach, we would iterate through entire dataset and calculate the distance between the current bar and every other bar in the dataset, and then sort the distances in ascending order. Well, that's not enough because several problems exist. One, nearest neighbors have computationally expensive requirements to iterate through the entire data set and calculate the distance between every historical bar and the current bar. What does that mean basically? Well, what it means is we're using many different filters and running them with real-time data to compare peaks and troughs historically to try to predict the future of each stock. Well, looking at First Republic Bank, and we're looking at this one because it's been part of this recent banking crisis. First Republic Bank, we're looking for a buy signal for the long-term trend. We're not really seeing that yet. If you look at the smaller time series, right, you're seeing entries and exits. But now, if you switch to Meta, we see a 72.9% win rate. You see how it's buying on peaks and troughs quite accurately. If we switch to the 1 hour time frame on Meta, you can see the win rate is 78%. Now, see how it entered right at the bottom, sold at the top, and the regression line changes colors from red to green. So we have a kernel regression line as well, but we really look at exactly when it says to enter and when it says to exit. But you can do two strategies. You can either buy, you don't have to wait till the candle closes if you're using candlesticks. You don't have to wait until it gives you the sell signal. You can wait until the regression line changes from green to red. But anyway, if you show dynamic exit, will reduce the win rate. Just wanted to show you that. Change that, turn off dynamic exits, and then increase neighbors count. So yeah, you can see on the 1 week, see how the regression line changed to red and it sold before that happened. Now we're going to turn off dynamic exits, increase the win rate. Now, see how it bought right when the kernel regression line changed from red to green? You see that? Right there on Meta platforms. Just taking that trade alone is a 100% win by itself. But anyway, 3 hour, let's switch to the 4 hour. Okay, let's look at 4 hour. So if you look at the 4 hour chart, 67.6% win rate, 2.09 win-loss ratio. It bought right here, around 95. And if you go to the 45-minute, you can see it has 72% win rate. This is back at First Republic Bank. And we're looking at HSBC on the right as well. 64.8%. And then we're also looking at Goldman Sachs, 70.2% win rate. You can see on Goldman Sachs it bought right at the bottom, right when the kernel regression line was turning green before it turned red. It sold. And this is a live market, so we're going to let the market just kind of do its thing. Okay, so as you see here, it's entering precisely at peaks and troughs. It's detecting this, it's creating a buy signal for the future, or a sell signal, a short entry or a long entry. Now look at Goldman Sachs, HSBC, First Republic Bank. You can see on First Republic Bank the 5-minute chart. It has not detected a buy signal, but it's entered and exited throughout this new low that we're seeing. Now, moving to HSBC, if we expand on HSBC, you will see the it exited right at the top before the kernel regression line turned red, near 35. It's really easy to understand. Just green and red. It tells you exactly when to enter. It tells you exactly when to exit. If you just follow it very closely, as well as use your own analysis to compare with this, it can be quite beneficial. Now on Tesla, Tesla's a very volatile stock. We're seeing that on Tesla, let's expand this a bit so you can see. So on the to answer some questions, on the 1 minute time frame, it's going to take a lot more trades, but not go as far back in time, where as the time series gets larger, it will go further back in time. The longest that you can change the time series for this to work is on the 1 week, and it'll go back many years using 52 weeks. But if you look at Tesla right now on the 1 hour, it did buy right at the trough there at around 175, and it exited at close to 180, bought again, and it's holding. Even the lighter greens are buy signals. You can see the kernel regression line change to green. Now we're going to switch so you can see the kernel regression line here. You can see the kernel regression line. And let's see here. Now, let's see. 192.34 real time. This is real time. Just want to reiterate, this is a real time system. It works in real time with real time market data. It's not an aggregate system that checks market data after the day ends. So 66.7% win rate on the 1 hour chart, 38 winning trades, 19 losing trades. And okay, let's see here. Let Tesla continue. And you can see how it consistently sells and enters and exits on according to the trend line. When the kernel regression line changes from red to green and it has a more strong signal, it sells or buys. Now we're going to move over to Amazon. The stocks that we are covering today are Meta, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, Microsoft, First Republic Bank, HSBC, Chase, Tesla, and Apple. So we're still on Tesla right now. It's really fluctuating between they're sticking really on 92.25 to 92.40. And this is on the 1 hour time series that we're looking at the algorithm. So you can see it bought right around 180 and has held since then. I 192.36, 192.38. Let's go look at the 15-minute. A 75.5% win rate. The 5-minute. .2% win rate. Let's change neighbors count. I'm gonna change this. If you make this higher or lower, usually the sweet spot's between 10 and 20, but 20 will usually increase the win rate. So you can see here that it bought you can look at all of the trades. It goes back many months on the 5-minute, but it doesn't go back as far as it does on the 1 hour. On the 3-minute time series, we have buy here, sell here, 58.5% win rate. Still over half of the trades are winning. So what we're looking at is exactly for entry and exits. So it has not created a short term. You can see that right there today from the 22nd of March to 23rd. It only took about 4 trades. It does not go on the 1 month. It only works maximum 1 week. But even on the 1 week, it'll go back many years. So you can see it goes back all the way even back to 2015 and all the way to 2002 even. But Tesla hasn't been out that long, but it can go back a lot further. 61.1% on the 1 week. See how it bought right when the kernel regression line was around green. Sold as soon as it changed to red. Tried to buy again when it turned green and sold it, changed to red, and detected that, okay, there weren't any other buy positions. So let's just wait until there's a better time. Okay. Now let's look at the 1 week chart on First Republic Bank. We do not see a re-entry here yet for a recovery on First Republic Bank. That's what we're looking for. Obviously, it fell over 90% of its price due to this banking crisis. So we're looking for our algorithm to tell us when to get back in. As soon as it does, we'll get back in. Looking for a longer term trend there. That's why we're looking at the 1 week time series. Let's look at Amazon. Okay, so Amazon. Hold on, let's pull up the script here. So this shows you where we put our code and then we can add it to the chart. We can change colors here, we can change parameters, we can change how we look back at previous data and historical data. Now, here we are. Okay, Amazon. It has not collected a new buy rating on the 1 week time series. It's struggling to find an exact position, but it has not exited yet. So it's attempting a longer term uptrend. It goes all the way back to 2007 and even further. So 2002, you can see it bought and sold all the way to now. So 20 years of historical data. If we go to the 1 hour time series, you can see on the 1 hour, 83.3% win rate on Amazon, 18 trades, 15 were winners, 5 win-loss ratio. Yeah, do you see that? When we changed it, it dropped the win rate, right? So we'll change it back. So change this back to 20. 83.3 on the 1 hour. 18 trades on the 1 hour. Only 18 trades. So this is obviously on a much longer time. So look at January 2023 to now. So if you look at this, we're seeing on the 45-minute time series, we're seeing, okay, 78.3%, 18 wins, 5 losses, 3.6 win-loss ratio, 78.3%. And you can see it going back to November, only took about 9 trades. So much less in terms of signals, more of a long-term analysis there on the larger time series. But now we're going to go to Boeing. So Boeing on the 45-minute, 70.6%. Just going to change this to fit. If you change it to 30, it won't do anything. It's just usually not a big indicator of making it more. Dropped it actually. Sweet spot is 10 to 20 on nearest neighbors count. Okay, so on Boeing you can see you want to buy when the indicator on the kernel regression line. The kernel regression line is that green and red parabolic line you're seeing in between the peaks and the troughs. So 69.2% win rate. Now this win rate is only off of 64 trades. If you just go based off of the peaks and the troughs, the win rate is much higher. And depending on where you exit, like say you exit as soon as the kernel regression line turns red for a long, or if you're trying to enter into a short, exit when it turns green. As long as you're in profit, you can have a very high profitability rate per trade. So this is Boeing. This is on the 1 minute time series. So on the 1 minute time series, it took 80 trades. It was a little bit less on the win rate, but it took a lot of trades, as you can see here, going all the way back to March 20th, and still looking at real-time data and creating solutions. On the 3 minute, 67.3%. If we go to the 15 minute, let's see what it calculates, 59.1, but let's adjust the settings. And we go to compare it against the 45 minute, 70.6% on the 45 minute. Now back to Meta, and back to Boeing, and then Amazon, just kind of showing you an overview, 78.3% here. And you can compare the time series from 1 week all the way down to 1 minute against all of the stocks. It does function. It is real time. Okay. Now, looking at Amazon again, on the 3-minute, you can see it entered and exited multiple times. Now you can see on Amazon 28 trades, 16 and 12. It still has not detected a full sell on the 1 week, but if we look at different time series, we've seen definitely different results. But I just wanted to show you the different time series. Okay. So this is the Lorentzian classification machine learning algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just mention it. And we're going to keep testing this out as well as our other algorithm in paired with Trade Strike. And stay tuned for more. Oh, we changed it to a 20. Our nearest neighbors got to 71.9% on the 1 week.